from the Dominican Republic. If you hear baby crying, it's my nephew. Okay. What else can I say? I don't know. I speak Spanish and I like to be here with you. And the weather is very hot. So if you see that I'm sweating, it's because it's incredibly hot here.
Holy cow.
Do you have any?
All right.
Do you want to ask Karina any questions? She's not from Brazil.
Yes.
So,
Like,
Karina, why are you here? Do you like to
Holy
learn
cow.
English, or you teach English, or what do you do? That's my question.
Do you mean for a living? Okay. I work in communications for a humanitarian organization. It's a global organization. And I actually use English for, well, at work. And the reason why I'm here is because I like to meet people. I like to share experiences. I think I can do that through English. And also, I believe that if you keep talking, if you keep practicing, I mean, that's the best way to keep practicing. Something that I wanted to say before was that I do think that living in another country helps you learn the language, because you will have a need. It won't be like, oh, I want to learn. No, it will be a need to work, to eat, to survive. You will develop that the language. So yeah, that's what I do. I work in communications, and now I'm sweating. It's embarrassing. Thank you.
don't be embarrassed, girl. Come on, you live in such a probably great place. And the reason why you are learning English is such a noble reason. It's incredible. Really, congrats. You I just read your lips. Yes, it was muted.
Leandro, can you go next? Because you are the only one here that hasn't like talked about Europe, right?
Holy cow, what do you want to know about me? For God's sake.
What do you do? Where you're from?
Okay, hi people. I'm Leandro. I'm from São Paulo, Brazil. I make a living like I am an English instructor. Okay, and I also study audiovisual productions, and I'm a musician. I love it, and that's it, I think.
Thanks. Icaro, you're going to say something, right?
Yeah, I was going to finish the line of thought that I had started previously. I don't know if the expression line of thought exists, but okay. And I have just realized that I made a point that sounded a lot harsh. You know, I wasn't understanding what Isabelle was telling me, but now I understood, because I said that only Brazilians can teach Brazilians. You know, I said that, but what I meant was, you know, when I was talking about Cambridge, about Celta, this is a way of Cambridge dictate the way you should teach. You know, when I tell you only Brazilians can teach Brazilians, I'm telling you that only Brazilians know the strategy, the correct strategies to teach Brazilians. You know, it's not that a foreigner can't teach a Brazilian. They can't teach, but a Brazilian will know better when why the reasons why a Brazilian make mistakes, for example. That's what I think. You know, it's not necessarily that a foreigner can't teach you. In advanced levels, it is a really good experience to have a foreigner with you. You know, teaching you. But generally, there are some things that you cannot, that you couldn't understand without a comparison. You know, there are things that we can't understand without comparing to our languages. And sometimes the person who is going to explain that to us are the people from our own country, you know, because they will understand better why do you commit that mistake, you know. So comparison is going to be always in our lives as learners of a foreign language. language because it's important to compare it to our own language. Did you
Yeah.
understand what I meant?
I totally understand, and I agreed with you on the first time.
Yeah, but I noticed that I sounded harsh. Only Brazilians
No,
can
no,
teach
I got it
Brazilians.
because we were in a different context. We are talking about the structure of the education here, so it's different. I totally agree with you.
Yeah,
Leandro
hey
wants
guys,
to
And
say
I,
something.
yes,
I
Leandro, go.
really am dying to say something. No, but no, but like I've been working in this school for like 5 years now, and we've had a few foreign teachers, a girl from South Africa and another guy from South Africa too. And the thing is, I had some problems with the both of them because some students, they, for example, they try to explain something and they make some like simple mistakes, but for them it's extremely complicated. And sometimes if the person cannot explain well, for example, present perfect is something that for a foreign person, and it's really simple, like, ah, it's this, but for a for the Brazilian people, or my students in this case, I had to get in the class and help them. And sometimes in the school where I work is like this. We don't use Portuguese in class. And okay, it's complicated. It is, but sometimes the students, they try to say something when they feel like, oh my gosh, I can't speak, I can't say this, I have no idea how to say this. And then they say something in Portuguese. When it comes to then I understand, okay, but when it comes to a foreign teacher, then he can't understand what the person wants to say, or he can't explain simple things. For example, what is a wardrobe? And then they just say, oh, well, wardrobe is a wardrobe. And I had to teach them how to use things such as Google Images and stuff, because for them it's something very obvious, but it's not obvious for the one who is learning. So there are different sides, and there are lazy students too. They are always trying to get away with that, like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know, so I have to finish my sentence in Portuguese. But I don't know.
Where
I've
do
been
you
abroad,
teach,
and
Leandro?
I
Sorry,
teach at a school
I'm
called
teaching, man.
Uptime.
Like
Oh my
uptime.
God.
What, Ikaru?
Oh my God, I was a coordinator at Berlin's Uptime.
Really? Holy
I have
cow.
a lot. I have a lot to say about it. That is cool. Like about the methodology. I could
How's the
say
methodology like?
Yeah.
Like,
it is based on the natural approach by Stephen Krashen. So there are lots of criticism towards it because Stephen Krashen believed that you should never ever use your native language in the classroom, which is wrong because you can use your native language. Of course, you're gonna use most the foreign language, but your native language helps you a lot when you have questions, you know, and it saves time for the teacher sometimes. Sometimes it saves time for more important experiences in the foreign language. So Stephen Krashen was wrong about lots of things, you know, and Uptime bases its methodology in Stephen Krashen's theory. So does Minds. I don't know if you know this school, Minds, but
yeah.
they do the same. They do exactly the same. They believe, Elena, you can tell me I'm wrong if you think I'm wrong, but what Krashen
I
believes.
don't think you are wrong.
Because Krashen believes that adults are gonna learn exactly as children do, and they want. Children are still forming their mother tongue. If you teach English to children, to young children, they will learn the foreign language as they learn the mother tongue. That's why it is much more easier for them to assimilate the language. But to adults, it is different because adults, they have already a formed native language. and they are always going to link and make an interlanguage between the two languages. Comparison is always going to be there, you know.
I generally say it's harder. Oh, here comes the dog. So I generally say your dog, Elena. So, and I generally
Yes.
say it's
Sorry.
harder for an adult to learn because adults have bills to pay. We have to work. We have so many other things to think about in our day on a daily basis, like, and that's why we can't maybe focus and concentrate enough to learn a new language, whatever. But I think it works. But the
May I
problem is that
say
sometimes
something?
Of course.
well, of course.
Sorry, Leandro, go on.
Go on, go on, girl.
Sorry, go
No,
on.
girl. No, you can say.
Grandma, go on.
Ok. Grandma não aguenta, entendeu? Grandma fica aqui, heart beating. The
Girl,
town
don't have a
is-
heart attack here, okay? It's not a place to have a heart attack. Come on.
Don't
It's a
worry,
healthy
don't
conversation.
Worry, my heart is still good.
Great.
You know, communication language is something. We cannot go from limits. Never do this. Always do that. You know, you as a teacher, you have feelings. Communication is the encounter of emotions. I'm talking now to you. My emotion is going there. When
Yes.
your emotion comes and our emotion meets, that's when communication happens. So we as teachers, we need to pay attention on each student, know that we are unique. There is any other Ícaro in this world. There is any other Leandro, Giza, Karina, Isa, and Helena in this world. So we should pay attention to each one. And then we know when it's the best time to say it in Portuguese and help, but not taking Portuguese as the basis of your teaching. Another thing, very fast, then you go on, Hélio, is, Hélio, yes? Leandro, sorry. Learn and acquire. Yeah, sorry, Leandro. Learn and acquire.
No.
Okay? Learn a language or you acquire a language. You use different parts of your brain for that. Okay?
Yes.
Different
Yes.
connections
No,
for learning and for
Yes.
acquiring.
One question.
Yes, Lucas.
Lucas.
I interrupted Leandro. Let's Leandro finish.
No,
Sorry, Leandro.
No, I think what you said is incredible. And it's this, each person is a different person, comes from a different background, is learning English for a different reason. And we have to, I really have to. Sometimes it's complicated for me because it gets a little like, not heavy, I'm not gonna say that, but since I know every student, and sometimes it's complicated, but on the other hand, sometimes it's interesting because I know when a person is simply being lazy or when a person has some kind of difficulty. Okay, and this is when we can like we can have bounds. We create bounds with these students, and it's great. It's really great. It's horrible when the course finishes. I am a very crying. I cry a lot. I'm a crying baby. So when I have to say goodbye to them, it's complicated. But I get happy because I know that I touched them and I helped them to learn a different language, and it makes a lot of difference in their
For life.
because we know it makes. Yes.
They will remember about Leandro forever.
It's funny because I was telling a student that generally I think doctors and teachers are people that we meet on the streets, and we don't say Giza, Ícaro, or Leandro. They say hi, teacher, and I said, oh my gosh, it's incredible because you take for your life. You take it for life. It's
I
beautiful.
didn't know
We
that you
touch
enjoyed
lives.
yourself. I didn't know that you
Huh?
enjoyed teaching English or being a teacher, Leandro.
You didn't know that I enjoy?
Yeah. You really
Actually, I have fun.
care
I have
about
fun
the,
with that. I have.
yeah.
No, I care. I care. Sometimes I care too much. This is sometimes the problem. You know, that's when we come to the WhatsApp part. Because they go, oh, Leandro, so it's hard this. When it's just about grammar there, I'm okay to help them. But sometimes people.
Oh, Leandro, I have good memories from the time I worked at Uptime too. It was really good for me to be a teacher there, although I didn't consider the methodology a very good one because it's so much fixed, But I really had a good time teaching them. I didn't like the welcome classes because there were lots of rules to explain, Leandro knows what I'm talking about because
I'm a
he works
coordinator,
against me.
man. I'm a coordinator. I do
So,
the welcome class. Just for the record, people, welcome class is like the first, we are talking about this and people don't know Uptime. So welcome class is basically the class in which we introduce the school and ourselves to the students.
Right.
Yeah.
What, Elena?
Who's talking?
Leandro.
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 No, I am-
Okay.
Yes.
Leandro is
So,
a
but-
coordinator.
Yes.
Yes. This is why I really take care of. I have to deal with a lot of things, but it's fun.
Of course.
But so this is,
Let me say something. There is no
Please.
bad methodology. Put this in mind. There are methodologies
Mhm.
and there are people. So you have to find the good methodology for you.
yes.
But there is no bad methodology because when someone creates a method, there is always a good intention for that. It's because they believe in what they are doing. So, and there will be people for sure who will who will learn it easier than another. So all methodologies are okay, as everybody is okay. Yes, we cannot segregate one methodology. No, you cannot speak English or only native teachers are good. No, teachers, you have to teach. And to teach, not only to teach, to do whatever you want to do in life, you need to have fun. If you don't have fun, don't do it.
Yes.
And I always, when I used to, don't do it if you don't have fun. Another thing, I used to give training courses for teachers, and I always said, teachers, don't explain it, do it. See the difference? Don't explain it, do it. You're gonna play a game. Don't explain the rules of the game. Start playing the game. My dog is driving me crazy. Sorry.
He wants to be part of that. He wants to bark in English with us.
Yeah, he barks in English. If you look, if we are speaking English, when she barks, our brain will listen to woof, woof. When we are speaking Portuguese, our brain will recognize ow, ow.
Yes.
Understand what I mean?
I don't know how do you say that in Dominican Republic, Karina, but here the dogs bark ow, ow. As in the United States or in England, they bark woof, woof. So how do they bark in Republic Dominican?
I was not prepared for this question.
Honey, this is life.
Well, as you can tell, I'm very expressive, so I hope that you don't mind it.
Come on.
Honestly, I don't know. I can bark like a dog, but I don't know. I don't know how they do it here.
We are talking about
Yeah,
the onomatopoeia.
How would you
But
bark
you
like a
see,
dog? How would you bark?
this example of the
Right.
dog.
Okay, I don't know how they
Bark
do
like
it
a
here.
dog,
I don't.
Karina.
How do they
Sorry.
write, Karina?
Okay, okay. I learned this when I was very little. I was in a contest and I had to imitate an animal, and I chose the dog, and I won. So
So,
the dog does like this.
That's why you won.
very good.
That's why you won.
That is a weird trick or weird ability
But
to
you
have.
see-
I don't know.
It's very well your dog.
It's not
like they
something
work
that
there.
It's
But
not
you see,
something that you
it's
put on
all
your
about
resume.
sounds.
Metal.
When I barked, my dog barked back at me. So maybe he
girl,
thought it was a real dog or something.
girl, it's an ability. It's not something that you're gonna put on your resume, but it's something. Unless you're gonna work at a pet shop and
Well,
something.
it's an
but-
icebreaker, you know? It's an icebreaker. A weird one, but it's one.
Yeah. Yes, breaking the ice generally is something like not something so formal. Okay. Excuse me, guys. May I break the ice? No, we just break it. Yes. Come on. It's incredible.
I have a question. All
Yeah.
of you are English teachers?
Yeah.
Yes.
I am.
I am.
Okay, we have Helena, we have Icaro, we have Leandro, we have
Elena,
Giselle.
yes.
We have.
Lucas, you too.
There are two
You
Lucas
you-
tonight. Two Lucas.
Yeah, you know, when Helena was saying that there will never be a Karina Gis, I was thinking we have two Lucas here. So I didn't want to say it because, you know, that was not for the moment. So Lucas Marcelino Campos Ferreira is a teacher, and Lucas Rocha too.
Yeah, Lucas
Love the
also.
accent.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
studying
it's
to
a
become
Spanish
a teacher.
accent.
He's
It's
studying
Yeah,
to
Spanish
become
if
a
accent.
there is something that we have in Brazil, and there is no lack of it, it's Lucas. There is one everywhere.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
Everywhere.
common name.
But
It's a
not
common name.
this
a
one.
really common name.
Oh,
Rocha, sorry? Lucas
my
Rocha.
class at school, I have like, 4 or 5 classmates with the same name. And
The age of Lucas.
on these distance classes, the teachers ask like, who is talking? And we say like, Lucas. And they are like, but who?
Which one? Which one?
Yeah, which one?
Lucas Rocha.
Yeah,
You want to ask,
Yeah, we've
want to
got
ask
Lucas.
Lucas any question, Karina? Lucas Rocha?
I was going to
No.
say which one. Okay. Well, I don't know.
She wants
He's
to know if you're a teacher,
too.
right?
Well, for all of you, I would like to know the level, not the level of your students, but the age range of your students. Maybe kids, maybe grown-ups, maybe. Oh my God. Who was that?
Hi,
Look.
Lucas, really? Oh gosh, Lucas, come on.
Yeah, I speak 3 languages and a half. One is barking. Thank you.
Great. She can honk
So
it.
what is it? So, oh my God. So what is the age range of your students, guys?
I
My
teach
students
for kids. Okay.
Okay, Lucas.
Big numbers.
I teach for kids. I'm the Uncle Lucas. Everybody calls
That's
me
what I
like
was gonna
Uncle
say.
Lucas. Oh, and I love it to play with them and singing a song. Something like this.
I think that playing is a great way to learn. That's how I learned English, kind of.
Yeah.
Icaro. On the
I
host.
I teach children, and I teach children, teenagers, and like early adults. You know, like people in early adulthood.
Yeah, like youth. Yes.
Yes.
Lucas Marcelino Campos
Another
Ferreira.
one. Another look.
Her
Yeah.
accent. I'm dying for her accent.
I should know how to, delete part of my name. It's kind of too formal. But my students, they are all, like most of them are in college, like 6th period, but there is one also that is like 30. Yeah, that's their age. I started teaching only my friends, and then I started teaching the friends of my friends, and that's it. That's it.
And then you open the school.
Yeah, maybe in the future, maybe, who knows?
Lucas Marcelino's Institute. Yes.
Yeah.
A good name, Marcelino.
Good
Yeah.
name, really.
Sounds good.
What about Leandro?
Oh, I teach people from 12 to 75 years old.
Wow.
It's incredible. It's incredible. Yes.
I bet.
Yes.
Gisa Avelar.
I have no students. I'm looking for students at the moment.
Well, but you have taught
Monica.
before. I mean,
Well,
you can
yeah, I
share
taught-
something with the class.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lucas, don't you have any friend who has a friend who has a friend who needs a teacher?
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna start, I'm gonna bring Giza Avelar to the Lucas Marcelino Institute.
Man, I think your school should be FOAF, friend of a friend, English school. It would be awesome. Almost a community.
Yeah, it could be a global one. Who knows?
I taught kids, teenagers, and adults. But I like teaching adults and teenagers because with teenagers, I feel like I can be a teenager again. Can be silly and played around with them, and they feel close to me. They feel like sharing their stuff with me. It's kind of nice.
And this is
Yeah.
a question that I would like to ask you guys. Okay, Elena didn't answer. Sorry.
All ages. All ages.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, from newborn to elderly.
And which one
But
do you
now
prefer?
as Giza, I'm not teaching at the moment because
And
of
which-
this pandemic. And
yes.
I was giving training courses for teachers, but I had to quit, and I am at home, as many elderlies. But and I want to learn how to deal with this new technology because I think this is the way, the Zoom. Do you teach through Zoom?
I've never tried to teach through Zoom. It would be my first time. I think Leandro does. Leandro.
Yes.
Nobody.
Lucas.
No,
I do.
I
will start,
started using
class
Zoom.
next month.
Lucas
But
Rocha,
I-
go first. Lucas Rocha, go first.
You
Lucas
can
Rock.
call, you can call
Let's
me,
go,
you
Lucas
can call
Rock.
me Rocha because many people call me Rocha, only Rocha, before not confusing to Lucas here.
How do they call
Okay,
you?
Mr. Rock.
Rocha or Rock or whatever.
Sorry, how do
I'm
you
a
say
hell.
your last
It's
name
my last
again?
name. It's my last name, Rocha.
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 Rock. Let's
Okay,
Rock.
and it doesn't sound like the way I did it. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to start this experience to teaching in an online way in the next month with a friend that asked me to teach, but it's totally new for me. I don't know how to, to use it. Any of these apps, Zoom, Hangout, Meeting, go from Google. I don't know how to use
You
it.
have to try to learn, right? It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
that difficult.
I've heard many teachers are using Zoom. I tried, but for
Google
me,
Google Meet, right? You go to Google Class or
Meet,
Google
yeah.
Meet. Is it
Yeah,
a
there is
good
also
platform
Google,
to teach?
Google Meet. Yes, but Zoom, I think Zoom is the most complete one. But unfortunately, you have to pay if you want to use it for more than 45 minutes. So, or you can start a new meeting every time it ends
This is
one.
the worst part.
Yeah, but there is also Google Meet. But I don't think Google Meet has the same tools as Zoom.
No, no, I have used both. I have used Zoom for work, and obviously it does not end. But I prefer Zoom because I can see all the people like in little squares or rectangles. But in Google Meet, I can only see the people, but not myself. What if I have something on my face?
Yeah.
I don't like
Never
that. And
know.
also, if I want to take like a screenshot of everybody, you know, I prefer Zoom for many reasons. It's more
dynamic.
yeah, I was looking for another word, but I don't know. I can't remember the pronunciation in English. That happens to me sometimes.
Say it
Dynamic.
in Spanish.
Right.
Yeah, it's Spanish.
Versátil. I think it's versatile.
Versatile.
Ah,
Yes,
Versatile.
versátil.
Versatile.
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 Yeah,
Yes, that's the word.
that's what I've heard from everybody who is using it. But it's too many things to learn for me. Because
Yes.
technology for me it's hard. But I'll get there. You will
Grandma,
see.
Yes.
I was
Wait
watching
and
a
see.
class.
Yes.
Do you have for example, you can video call your children that are not children anymore, or your grandchildren, and you know you can practice with them. I think that is a
Yes.
Yeah.
way to do it. And with us, of course.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Jessica.
Yeah, I would say to Elena, do not give up. You know, my grandma, my real grandma, she told me that she told me no, she learned how to use computers, you know, and now she's like really good at it. She does write documents and she plays online. I have also taught my mother to do that, and now she doesn't stay away from her phone playing online with other people. She plays those board games, but on her smartphone, you know, like Ludo. I don't know if you guys know this board game, Ludo. It's a very famous one. So do not give up, because once you get it, it's gonna
No, Icaro, I'm not the kind of person who gives up easily. I never give up.
Grandma, do you teach on Instagram? Because when I was on Instagram once, I saw you there and you were giving tips on pronunciation tips. I watched a class, but it was a good class.
Yeah, it was not a class, but you know, I like to help people. If you have, for instance, questions, you may ask me. That I'm here to add. I'm here to help. So when I started Instagram, that was one of my purposes. Because we acquire knowledge through life, and there is no sense if you keep the knowledge for you. Yeah, the sense is to share. You need to share. So I started Instagram with this thing in mind. I want to share the knowledge, my knowledge, and I want to learn some new knowledge as well. So it's a nice exchange. So you can ask me if you have doubts with students, if you want to know. My dog took another thing. Oh, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Since you told us we can ask, what is the difference between learning and acquiring language? You said that
Okay.
before.
It's gonna be a poetic thing.
I'll give you an example. Who asked me? Elio? No, Leandro.
Lucas.
Marcelino.
Oh, Lucas.
No, it was
Marcelino.
Luca Marcelino Campos Ferreira.
Marcelino
Love your accent,
Institute.
girl.
It's from Marcelino Institute. I will tell you the difference.
It's a
I'll
question
tell
from
you the
a friend of
difference
his friend.
Learning and acquiring. Our traditional education, we learn things, right? In a traditional way, in a conscious way, right? So at school, I learned, for instance, when I was in high school, I learned physics, I learned chemistry. But if today, Lucas, you come and tell me, oh, Grandma, I have a problem in physics here. Force plus, how do I solve this problem? I don't know. So I really, I don't like the way education is. I think we need to have a revolution in education, because when you learn at that moment, and it's like a file in your computer. You put that thing in the file. If you don't use it, you will forget.
Yeah, you don't use it.
Yes,
Use it.
so
Yeah.
mathematics. I know math for the common things. But if you give me an algebra problem, two more difficult things, I will have to say, well, but I've already seen this, but let me see. I have to, clean up the file and take the thing back and try to remember about it, because I learned. But when I acquire, that's why I say, if you're going to teach with fun, having fun, because you are dealing with emotion. When you learn through emotion, you acquire.
Grandma,
And you put in a, sorry.
sorry to cut you off, just that we have less than 1 minute. Less than 1 minute.
So,
and then,
Oh gosh,
so
again.
love what you do and got the difference of learning and acquiring. Who was Marcelino Institute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
learning is about like creating a file, and acquiring would be using it constantly. So it
Not constantly. It's another part of the brain that you file this when you acquire, because you used communication, you used love, you had fun, you used emotion. It's not a conscious thing.